Namaste. Don't stay away. Don't stay away. Guys, I've been in my car trying to decompress from the day's activities. Okay? Don't even really want to talk about it because it was scary. Look at this big guy. Okay? I also have the skinny ones. I didn't know I have the skinny ones, but I think I gotta take my coat off, so hold up. Hey, it's Fri-yay. It's Fri-yay. Oh boy. I got a new shirt on. I want to show you. But it was too tight on me. Even though it's huge. It's too tight in the chest area, I think. But it has pockets. See the pockets? I don't know if you can see the pockets. And then I paired it with my gray pants. Hey guys, I haven't shown you my gray pants in a long time. Okay, anyhow. You had a bad day. You've taken one for the team. Anyway, guys, I don't even know if I told you the story last week. I don't think I did. I was so upset. I had a really... Alright, so... You're down there. Okay, so I teach 3rd grade, and when I sub 3rd grade, so you don't just have one class, you have all the classes. So it was reading and social studies for today, and penmanship. And so the first class was going okay, and I have a little boy that, you know, I had trouble with in the past, but lately I haven't had trouble with him, and it was really nice. He, right before Valentine's Day, he drew me a picture. Last Friday he drew me a picture, and I told him I'm gonna put it on my fridge, and I did put it on my fridge, and he got through most of his work. I did help him a lot. He did ask me a lot of help, and I did. And like the notes for him is, if he just won't do any work and he just wants to draw, just let him do that. Let him draw. And so I was letting him draw, but I was also encouraging him to listen, because they just can listen on the computer, the social studies, where they read it to you. And he just wanted to do the word puzzle in the back, and like all kids, they just want to skip the work and just do the answers to the crossword puzzle. But I saw how he was doing it. He was interestingly doing the answers by counting the letters. And it's weird because he's not too good at math, but he was counting the letters, so that's how he's figuring out the words. He couldn't read the words. He can't read. But he was figuring it out by counting how many letters. And I'm not good at crossword puzzles myself, but I was mostly trying to get him to understand the material. And, you know, everything went smoothly. And then I heard screaming next door. And I have that class in the afternoon. So you have the first class from 7 in the morning, 7:20 to about 11:30. And then you bring them to lunch, and then when you pick them up from lunch, they switch after an hour. So then you have the other class for the rest of the afternoon. But in the morning, I heard the screaming, and the same girl that had the meltdown and threatened the teacher, I'm not using any names, the same one that did it last Friday did it again this Friday. But instead of just threatening the teacher, she also threatened the K word to the children. Now these are 3rd graders, the little 8-year-olds, right? And so I don't know, about anybody's medicine or what anybody's diagnosis is. I'm not supposed to know about that because I am just a sub. But I know from being a teacher all these years, I can diagnose a lot of people. I know what they're, because I've had hundreds of students in my career. So this is not lighting. It lit a little bit. Let's get lit. Anyhow, long story short, it was, I wanted to help that teacher because I said, did you call for backup? Oh yeah, that's a good burn. That's a good burn. I said, did you call for backup? And she said yes. And like it takes a long time for, I guess, the principal to get there, the counselors to get there. So I said, do you want me to? And then all of a sudden she came in and she said, I would like you to take the kids. So I said, absolutely. So they all come in. And the little girl was screaming, yelling. She wasn't really throwing stuff around, but she was screaming and kind of standing near the teacher and screaming. Now the kids come in and they're crying. A couple of them are crying. And I said, why are you upset? I mean, I know why they're upset, but I wanted them to express themselves. And they were like, because she said she was going to, hurt us and hurt the teacher. And I don't want her to hurt us or the teacher. And then a few of them are crying because they're like visualizing it. She said specifics. And I don't understand why this is happening. Why does this girl who has threatened, that she doesn't threaten me, but she never gets really to get into my classroom. Anyhow, it was just so stressful. And then like everything that happened with this little boy that was like magical, then he goes to go into, finally, so I had like over 40 something kids. And what I did was I called the counselor myself. First I called the principal, but the principal was in with her, or in with the young girl, with the student that threatened. Anyhow. So I went in to go to that teacher and ask her, is there a certain number for the counselor? Because I wanted them to talk to the kids that were crying and traumatized. Because you can't just like sit in a classroom and watch somebody cry and threaten the teacher and threaten them and think that, they're not supposed to counsel them. That's really traumatic. And these kids, I'm collecting their tears with, my hand. And this one little boy, I had to take him to the other side of the room so that, because he was embarrassed to cry because he's a little boy, wants to be tough. And then some girls were crying and they told me terrible things. So I say, what am I supposed to do? I mean, the teacher next door already knows it, has been going through it. So I said, I went into her room to say, is there a counselor's number? When I went into her room, the little boy that I had so much success with reaching was following her around the room. She was handing out papers and he was saying, give it to me, give it to me. What happened was he brought in Pokemon cards and I went to take them from him, but he put them back in his pocket when they were switching classes. So I guess he was playing with them and she took them away, as she should, because they're not supposed to have them at all and they're not even supposed to get them back. And he was literally walking up to her, going to chest butt her. He did. He chest butted her. Some of the kids told me later on that he always pokes her. He always goes up to her because, like, I'm short. I'm 5'2", and she's probably 5 foot. And the kids that are in third grade, some of them are taller than us, and some of them are right head to head, eye to eye. So he's doing a chest butt with her, and the kids told me that he's poked her before. Okay, so I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I go to get him, thinking we were fine. Come sit in my room, and you'll do your work in my room, right? Just to help this teacher out, because she just dealt with this girl that the whole morning was screaming, yelling, and saying these threats. I couldn't get him to move. I couldn't. He's like a tank. And that's like very rare in my career, that I couldn't get him to even leave the situation. So I had to stop ignoring my class, because I went in there to see if there was a different number for another counselor, because nobody was coming. And I told him, I'm going to call the principal if you don't come with me, or at least walk away from the teacher. Do not put your hands on her. And he kept doing it. And then finally, I had to walk out of the room, because my kid's already traumatized, because they were already in there for hours and living with this. So I walked back in my room. I called up the office, and I said, is there a counselor that can come to my room? And I didn't even mention anything that I just witnessed, okay? Because it was just too much. It was like, so then I told her what happened, what I witnessed, and she finally came, but she just did a generalized, I told her specifically, I took her aside, the counselor, and I just didn't feel like anything was done. I don't get it. I don't get it. So I'm a little shook, and I don't really even want to talk about it anymore, because I have to calm down. Anyway, that's 11 minutes. It feels like an eternity. That's no offense to any of you guys. The Palo Santo is helping a little bit. Let's see if a turtle helps even more. Let's see. I know it's not good for me, but sometimes you just need a turtle. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's have a turtle. Sometimes the Palo Santo isn't enough, so you need a turtle. A turtle power. Turtle power. And other things were said. Then the girl came to my classroom, and she said, can I talk to you? And I said, yes. You want to apologize to all your students, your fellows, friends in your class? And she didn't really say yes or no. And she said, oh, everybody hates me. And I said, no, they don't. Everybody loves you. And then kids got up and hugged her and said, no, we love you. Which I thought was so sweet, because they've been putting up with all these outbursts and her threatening them, and it's scary. But they were so sweet. And then I, of course, she hugs me. I give her a hug, and she was like, the teacher doesn't love me. I said, yes, she does. Otherwise, she wouldn't show up every day and try to teach you and the other kids. But she has a whole classroom full of kids, and she can't always just talk to you. Do you understand that? And she said yes, but anyhow, so it's just stressful. We were just trying to talk about different ways that she can express herself without having an outburst or saying mean things to people. You can't say those words. I mean, I didn't know what else to do. I'm trying to reach in deep. Thank God I had this on. I would have been in trouble if I didn't have this on. It works better on my hand. When I put it here, it takes a long time to kick in. When I put it here, for some reason, I was having anxiety this morning. I must have been feeling what was to come. I called a whole bunch of people. It was before the kids got in. I just had this surge of anxiety. Usually I'm all right in the morning because I'm like drowsy. No, I was like panic. I freaking knew something was going to happen. It was 1-2 punch. And not for me. I mean, yeah, I do have to take care of both classes when she's dealing with it. But I feel so bad for her. Most important thing that teachers need is support from the administration, from the counselors, from the principals. Support, and something needs to be done. Like, why is this teacher expected to keep this girl in the classroom after she was threatened? Bodily harm, and the students were threatened. Oh, because she's a different learner? I'm sorry, game over. There was no, maybe she went into the counselor's office for like a little tiny while last Friday. But today she started in with this in the morning. So after she was doing that, then I see her having lunch with her mother. You know, how the parents come in to have lunch with the kids. And she's not crying, she's not upset. I don't even think the mother knows that she did this all morning. So the teacher's just supposed to put up with her screaming and yelling and threatening her and the kids as she's teaching? I don't think so. But I don't know. This is very I don't even know the answer. I mean, I know the answer, but they're not doing what I think they should be doing. So I think that's bullshit. Okay? Sorry for cursing, but that's what it is. Anyhow, I'm just gonna have one turtle. I'm gonna save my turtles for when I'm not on the air. But if you ever want to have clusters of caramel and pecans, then you need a turtle. Turtles are really good. Okay, anyhow, guys, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I just feel like there's like anxiety, and the anxiety is up to here. And some things you could put a label on it and stamp it and say what it is, what it means. You know what? Something's telling me I gotta light this kind. Oh, there's no more left? Some more left? People see me with the tinfoil to think I'm doing drugs in my car. Okay, no, I am not. I'm doing Palo Santo up in this biatch. Okay, I guess I just have to do the sticks and not the tinfoil. Why do I have glasses in here? This is an interesting... Take me to the beach. Anyhow. It was so stressful, so... Alright, and then I gotta think about other things that I gotta do. So I think I'm doing... Alright, so here's the thing, Aquarius. I have to put you on hold because I do have a reading. My readings that I get paid for, I gotta put that first, okay? Because, you know, people are paying for a reading, I gotta do that first. So that's my priority. And then the other ones are bonus and, you know, collective I can get to it when I can get to it. I mean, I came on last night. I was trying to talk about, this is another thing. Never go to sleep. I tried to not turn the TV on last night and just try to go to sleep after I did that live. And I put my dog out. He just wants to sleep. He always wants to sleep with me, and it's getting into a bad habit, because if we get another dog, we're getting a puppy. He's got to stay in that room with the puppy, and they can't both be coming out. I mean, they, of course, we'll integrate them, but basically his sleeping place should be in his room, which is a big, huge room, and just to train the puppy. Anyhow, and also my husband goes, I'm getting kind of jealous. I used to be jealous of the couch, and now I'm jealous of the dog. And I was like, I can see that. I can understand that. And I said, no, I'm going to start, trying to be a normal person, read my book in the bed. And because next week, I think it's next Thursday, I have to work a lot, but it's in another school, and it's 4th grade, and it's 6 days. It's going to be like next Friday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, February flips me out, because all of a sudden, like, you're in February and then it changes over to March, and it's like, how did that happen? Why is there only a short amount of time? Anyhow, I forgot what I was gonna say, guys. I'm all mixed up. So last night, after the live, I knew my medicine, if I acted loopy, it's because my medicine was kicking in, and then if I don't catch it when it's kicking in, then I could be awake all night, even with the medicine and the Jesus juice, okay? I just had 1 glass, but anyway, so I wanted to get over to the couch and just like chillax, and I was starting to get a headache. I was starting to get like a skull crown chakra migraine type of thing. So I said, you know what, let me ride the phase of my GABA patch. Devin just ordered me new ones from the company, because he doesn't like Amazon, so he ordered straight from the company. So hopefully they get here soon, because this was my last, this was my last one of this. And the melatonin patches, I don't take that much, because nightmares on a regular basis. Oh my gosh, and that's what that girl said to me before she was leaving, because I was doing her dismissal. I had her in my class, and she turned around, I said, have a nice weekend, sweetheart. And she looked at me and she goes, I always have nightmares. They're really bad. And I go, aw, I understand that, honey. Me too. And then she goes, so I try to stay awake as long as I can. I try not to sleep that much, because I have nightmares. And I totally get that. I totally understand that, because I do too. And even like a regular dream could be a nightmare for me, because I just don't want to go back in my mind to like I'm in Staten Island. Not that I don't like Staten Island, but I'm all like discombobulated, because I'm like in a scenario in Staten Island, New York, and then I wake up and I'm not in Staten Island, and it's like, and my mother's not alive, and and I'm not with my kids, and even though they're grown when I moved here, I have such weird dreams that I don't like I don't ever like my dreams, ever. They're so clear, and like with what people are saying to me, and they're so anyway. So I said to her, when you start, you need to watch something. And I think she's watching YouTube, because the things that she says, the words that she's using when she was threatening her teacher and the kids, are so like advanced, that she must be watching like some kind of YouTube thing that's way above her, and horror and scary, because how would she know? Anyway, How would she know these terms? So I said to her, watch something happy, watch something peaceful. That's what I try to do. Well, I should take that advice, but then she walked away. I don't think she understood what I was trying to say. But because she shared, when people share things with me, especially kids, when they share things with me, I pay attention. And then that haunts me. That goes on my list too. But I called the teacher after work. I couldn't find her before I left, but I called her. I texted her after work, and then she called me because I said, I have to tell you what she said to me. And she called me right away, and I picked it up because it's important, and I have her back. She's working very hard, and she really needs support. Anyhow, I went to sleep with my phone because Devin gets annoyed when he wakes up and he has to turn off the TV. So I like the TV because I usually put on a silly show, and then that makes me feel calm. And that's how I can fall asleep, have less nightmares. Even sometimes the news, less nightmares, even though you would say nightmares with the news. But I usually don't watch the news after 9 o'clock. But I'm very into the Murdoch trial. Alex Murdoch trial, right? And I want to do a serious video on it. But I went to sleep with my phone in my hand, watching somebody talking about the case, and they were doing clips of him talking. Well, in my head, I was right next to him, okay? In my friggin' head, I was right next to Alex Murdoch, right? And I was like, why are you lying? Why are you lying? Your voice is cracking. And he's like, no, I have a sore throat. And it's like a typical, and I was saying this to him, you're a typical narcissist psychopath. And he was like, why would you say that? Just because I stole a couple people's money? No, I'm just like, who's that guy that's in jail that stole people's money? I think his name starts with M too. Stole people's money in the 90s, I think it was. People are poor because of him. Lost their houses and lost everything. Madoff, I think. Anyhow, he was like, I'm just like him. And I was like, well, he was a narcissist too. I said, but you're worse because there's so many trails of people that died around you. Housekeeper. He's like, I didn't do that. But he was like smirking. I was like, no, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. Doesn't matter how smart you are and how much of a good actor you are. You're not going to win. Good always wins over evil. On a good note, 2 kids were found. 2 kids, one kid in Florida. If you don't know, I don't even know his name. Somebody was asking me about him on my live, and I was like, how many kids can I do? How many cases can I do and put in this head, in this brain, in this pea brain over here? But anyhow, a kid in Florida, he was found alive and he's okay. He wandered off from his house. I don't know if he wandered away for 2 days. I think he's like a baby, like 2 or 3, no shoes on. Anyway, he's okay, thank God. Thank you, dear God. Thank you. God bless. And another little boy was in the car in the back seat. The guy carjacked the car, not knowing he was in the car. Thank God he's alive and he's okay. He's found. So those are 2 good things. So we have to weigh it out. I don't want to just be Debbie the Downer over here. I mean, on the same note, I did actually have a good day because I got so many hugs from the kids. And I even hugged that teacher in the morning. She hugged me. Yeah, I just feel so, my heart goes out to her. I ask God in my head, like, what can I do? Please let me help this teacher because she thinks she doesn't feel supported. She isn't really being supported. They just leave everybody in her classroom, and it's just, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Sorry. Okay, guys. All right, so what's coming up? I do have a video this weekend that I'm doing for somebody that is a Scorpio. I don't think she minds if I say her name, and I will try to get the Aquarius if I feel it, but I might be trying to rest because really I've been on a roller coaster since, like, planning the getaway, planning for Thomas, shopping, cooking, cleaning, all that jazz. And I just getting up early, going to bed my usual late, kind of late, not really, like, I want to sleep 12 hours because I feel like then I can get my downloads. Like, I don't want Devin to talk to me. I want to just stay asleep for 12 hours. One of my 12-hour stints. I'm sure I'll have nightmares like usual, per usual, but I just want to be in the bed, actual bed, or even the couch, but the bed for a long period of time, and not get up in the morning, not get up early, just stay there as long as I need to stay there. I usually get up when I don't want to have that loop of dreams anymore, because it's always the same loop and goes over and over again, like watching a movie. And all these people are there, and I'm like, why are you here? Why are you in this dream? It's weird. It's a weird feeling. Okay, guys. I'm going to probably put this one out because it's very damp from being in the car. And I got to bring in more new sage. Yeah, so prayers up for Forever Bella. I haven't heard from her. The last time I heard from her, she was okay, but I haven't heard from her in a few days. Probably some people were trying to stay away from me because they knew I was hanging out with my son. But anyhow, Forever Bella, I hope you're feeling better. Crystal, Medicine, and Brandon and Dean, I hope you guys are feeling better because they were in a car accident. Everybody who's sick. Tammy, I think she was getting dental surgery. I have her on a candle. Her husband, I think Jeremy, was getting surgery also a week ago. Prayers up for Tammy and Jeremy. Prayers up for my New York East Coast soul sister, Jess, Liliana. She wasn't feeling too good, so prayers up for Liliana. Always put all angels around you, angels around everybody. Archangel Raphael is the healer, the angel of health and helping with any kind of uneasiness and feelings of maybe feeling down. There's a lot of people feeling down, a lot of people feeling depressed. That's why I wanted to be happy-go-lucky, because today's my day, Fri-yay. And I really was actually doing some good teaching, but anyhow, bad boys, what are you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what are you gonna do? See, if I'd love to put my rap music on right about now, I can't do that because they always give me copyright, and I don't want that. Cheers. Drink it if you got it. It's coffee. My Bayo, I'm so sorry I haven't texted with you in a while, but I will be. Okay. See, my hair is already coming out because we went in the chlorine water, so the color's coming out. But I like it. It's okay. I use a sulfate-free shampoo, so that makes it shiny, which I like, and it keeps the color a little bit. You know what I was thinking of for some reason? Why I thought that I was ending this, and it's 34 minutes now, and for some reason I didn't end it. Now I need the heat. Now I gotta put the heat on. I was thinking of blue. Because, like, when this gets too light, it gets clown posse-ish. Clown posse purple. And I'm, like, I get over it. I feel over it. Then I want to put the black over it and just be black. You know, brunette raven. But I was thinking of blue. So I don't know if Gannon was trying to contact me, but I might buy navy in Arctic Fox. I don't have any left of blue, but I might buy navy. And after a few washings, I might switch over to navy for some reason. Or like it's like an indigo. Because sometimes I get sick of like when it's really like this. That's really purple. That, like, I have to be in the mood to be purple. I have to straight up be in the mood. But now it's getting to be a little extra. And I am extra. I definitely, there's purple in this shirt. Do you see this? You see it's like buildings, I think, or mountains. But there's a little haze of purple in the background. Isn't that cool? But I don't like how it's fitting me like I'm a big, chubby, round person. And I am chubby. And there'll be people, stop putting yourself down. I just have a mirror. I have a mirror. I know what I look like. I have a scale. I know what I look like. But just some clothes don't fit. Oh, I thought that was a stain. It's just a shadow of the white. Anyway, some clothes don't fit how, you know, I'm very busty. And so I don't want it to accentuate that. I want it to be loose in the chest area. I know. What am I talking about? What am I friggin' talking about? God is good. I'm able to drive myself to work and drive myself home. I have a car. I have a house. I have a wonderful husband who loves me, who's my soulmate, who's my best friend. I have friends. I have all of you. I have a lot to be grateful for. I have a lot to be happy and grateful for. And I am happy and grateful. 2 children were found. Like, all right. There is one other thing. Okay. I was looking at a video, and it was summer. Somebody did a video on summer. Devin heard me. Listen. Oh, I have my angel on. This is what protected me today. Yeah, no one's throwing hands on this. No one's throwing hands on this dude over here. Okay? That's just, you know, like when I saw him poking at her and chest butting her, and I'm like, is that the same kid that was just standing next to me drawing a picture for me? A cartoon that he was developing? I don't know what's happening in the world anymore. I don't know I'm trying my best, people. All right, anyhow, watch Katrina crack up on YouTube. Watch Katrina Mystic Brady having a nervous breakdown in front of everybody. Okay, anyway, dolphin right, dolphin left. Hey, namaste. Guys, remember dolphin right? Dolphin left? Those were the days. I gotta stop bringing that back. Namaste ninjas, Zen zebras. Are you a Bella butterfly? Are you a unique unicorn? Are you a merry mermaid or a merry merman? I know the 2% out there, 2% of my audience are men, but they just won't admit it. They just won't comment usually. Anyhow, doesn't matter. Everybody is welcome. The divine masculine, the divine feminine, and apparently some people let their kids watch me. Okay, be careful. Watch, you know, sometimes it's a night show, if you know what I mean. Okay. Anyway, no, I know kids resonate with me. I mean, you know, I would have to be blind to not see that. I got a lot of hugs today, and it was just beautiful. But then it was like a foreshadowing of what was going to happen later. And I think that was part of the nervousness. But anyhow, my point that I'm trying to make is, so I'm watching a video somebody recently did, maybe in the past couple of hours, yesterday, and it was about summer, and it was only like a 15-minute video. And Devin, we sit like millennials. Like, he turned off the TV. I was like, why'd you turn off the TV? But I'm sitting with my phone. He's sitting there with his phone. He goes, because we're both looking at our phones like millennials, like two whacked out old millennials. Right? So, even though we're too old to be millennials, but anyway, we're worse than millennials. Both of us are, you know. So I'm watching this video, and he hears something, and he goes, oh, what's that? And then he walked by. Suddenly he was up out of his chair, and he was walking by, and he looked over, and he's like, you're not gonna find her. You still looking for her? And I was like, I will look for her and all of them till the day I die. Okay? And he goes, or till they're found. And he goes, no, you're not going to find her. And I go, don't say that. There is always hope. And I go, why did you say that? And he had some reasons. I'm not going to say what they are, but, you know, everybody is entitled to their opinion and their viewpoint. But I feel like turn up the heat on friggin' the triangle. Don wasn't in receipt of her, but Don was definitely called, and Don got there, allegedly for entertainment reasons. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law in the United States of America. Just taught my third graders that today. Okay, and I was talking about what is a lawyer and what is, you know, what does that mean with the jury, and it was a lot. It was a lot for them. So they were just, some of them were absorbing it, and one kid said, yeah, that's why I'm going to be a lawyer when I grow up. And I was like, good for you. Definitely. Everybody is innocent until the court proves them guilty. But anyhow, Candace and Grandis were in receipt of, you know, watching their child and grandchild. Okay? So why is it that the heat is not on them? Okay? Turn up the heat. That's all I could say. But I'm never going to stop looking for that little girl. I see her in my dreams. I see her in my visions. I see her in my wake moments. I see her in other kids, other children that I'm teaching. I see her in all different ways, and she so wants to be found. She really does. And so now I am going to drive home. You want to drive home with me? Let's do a drive-by shooting. No, that's enough violence for the day. I'm just getting out of elementary school. Anyhow, oh God, what is going on with the world? What is going on with the world? What is going on with this world? Why can't we have peace? Why can't we have love and friendship and family, sticking up for family? Why can't we have our dreams and our wishes come true? Why can't we all be zen? What are we going to do? I know that doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense a little bit to some people, right? Oh, today the kids told me, guess what's on your eyes? I go, makeup? They go, it's like cotton candy. You have pink cotton candy on your eyes. I go, well, at least it's not watermelon this time. And they laughed. So I was trying to be a little bit less heavy on the eye makeup, but they told me it was like cotton candy. I go, I'll take it. Now you're making me hungry for cotton candy. Why can't we all be friends? Why can't we put the family first? Never go against the family. All right. We are home. Namaste, everybody. Love you. Be kind to yourself, especially if you're going through a hard time or you're just tired, like this dude over here, this bro. And, you know what? Just relax, light a candle, and let God have it. Let the universe have it. Let the universe do its work. Say a positive thing. I am so happy and grateful. All the children that are missing and the missing people, Summer Moon, Utah Wells, Michael Joseph Vaughn has been found. Dylan Rounds has been found. Suzanne Morphew has been found. Jennifer Doulos has been found. Kelly Brennan has been found. Echo Lloyd has been found. Sincere and Classic has been found. Thank you, dear God, and everybody else included. Lena Cahill has been found. Namaste, everybody. Love you.